Hello everyone, this is Audrey Perkins and this is my new recipe video for the week. I'm going to show you guys how to make a blender pudding. It's a really simple recipe that's no cook. All you have to do is add your ingredients, blend, and let it sit. So first off, take your chocolate chips, a pinch of salt, 2 eggs, and a shot of rum or any other liqueur you prefer, or alcohol. I recommend Bailey's or Amaretto as well. However, I decided to go with rum this time. Add all those ingredients, except for the coffee if you're looking at the ingredients list below. Lid your blender and then turn it on medium to high. What you want to do is break up the chocolate chips until they're smaller granules and kind of start to get a nice initial foam in the egg whites and the egg yolk. So this recipe is kind of an in-between between mousse and pudding. It's not quite as light and airy as a mousse is, but it's not quite as dense as a pudding. So the eggs aid in that foam effect that you like in a mousse. So that's why I have this. A heads up, this does use raw egg. So it does technically get cooked when you add the hot coffee later on. However, if you guys are a bit squeamish, I thought I'd give you a warning. But once everything's blended and foamy, let me clear the background so you can see what it looks like. It should look kind of like that. If it's a little more foamy, that's perfectly fine. But when the chocolate starts to kind of break up a bit more, that's when you want to add your hot coffee. It has to be as hot as possible so that the chocolate will melt and kind of create an even mixture. But add your coffee, lid it up, and then continue blending. And this is the key step that really creates that nice foam, an even foam, and also melts the chocolate properly. So keep blending until it has a nice even molten chocolate brown color. It shouldn't be chunky at all. It should be completely even and homogeneous. So just keep blending. It should take a couple minutes, and when everything looks even, take the lid off and take a look. It should look quite like that. I'm going to make it clear for you. But when you think that it's evenly melted, take it out and take 2 cups. I rimmed mine with sprinkles and chocolate, and it's really easy to do. If you take some melted chocolate and put it on a shallow plate, just rotate the mouth of your cup in it, and then rotate it in another plate of sprinkles. It's a lot like how you would salt rim a margarita glass. So take those 2 cups and add your mix in. Another suggestion, I wish I had done this with my initial batch, if you don't want the top layer of bubbles to be so bubbly, I guess there's no other word for it, give it a stir before you put it in the fridge. But let it sit in the fridge for about an hour to solidify, and if you've stirred it, some of the bubbles should have broken on top. When it's set, it shouldn't jiggle. And as for a serving suggestion, I recommend putting cream on top. I like having that liquid on there to kind of have the 2 textures between the creamy and the liquidy. So I did a coconut cream, much like how I did for the Vietnamese coffee a couple weeks ago. But that's my recipe for the week. Enjoy!